Hi guys, Kevin Conan Bankens here, Bankens Mountain Martial Arts Academy in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Hey, just want to talk to you guys a little bit for a second about competition fear. Competition fear is something that everybody deals with, and everybody deals with it differently. Um, some people tend to get sick before competition. Some people tend to back out or want to back out right before the competition. I've seen people back out on the line stepping up to do the competition. And these are all natural feelings. One thing that I want to encourage you about though is to continue to compete, because in my first in the first few competitions I did as a kid, I did fairly poorly. And what was shocking to me was that, was the competition really that much better than me? Or was I just not performing because of the crowd that was in front of me now? And that is one of the biggest parts that I want to talk to you guys about, is the crowd fear part. Many times, whether you're in your dojo or in your academy, whatever you call your school of art, um, you do very well. Sometimes you may be the greatest guy in the class, or the greatest woman in the class, or greatest girl or boy in the class, and it comes time to compete, and you just immediately gas out. You you look back on the competition, or you watch a film and you go, man, I do better than this every day in the academy. But what you don't have many times in the academy is hundreds or even thousands of people watching you perform, and your whole family's there, or they're watching. Your academy family's there, they're watching, and all of a sudden this tremendous pressure comes over you that you just don't have a lot of times in the academy. And not only that, now you're facing someone that you've never faced before, and you don't really know how they're going to respond or they're going to react um, to what's fixing to happen. So there's a lot of things to look at and go, man, this is a lot of pressure to be under. Sometimes though, people will, and I've seen it so many times, and I think that's why I want to talk to you today a little bit, because people will compete and then they get beat and they don't want to compete ever again. It's like, I don't ever want to go um, through that pain or those emotions again. The only way, let me encourage you a little bit though. The only way to better your competition state is to keep competing, right? You have to keep competing. In my last tournament, I lost my first match really fast. Like bang, it was over. I went, oh man, you know. And this is at high level black belt stages. I lost really quick, but then I beat the next two guys really quick. So one thing I've learned is, go back to the drawing board immediately, regroup yourself, and get ready to fight again. Because if the first loss, if that cripples you, it's over. The rest of the tournament's over. The rest of your career, or whatever you want to call it, as a competitor is over. And if you allow that to mentally handicap you, not only will it handicap you in your martial art, but it will handicap you in your everyday walk, because you'll be questioning yourself every day of your life and asking yourself, am I really that good? Am I good enough? Am I good enough at my job? Am I good enough at this? And you'll start backing out of everything in your life that scares you. And fear alone can break you down. So we got to get past that fear. And again, not everybody's going to be a competitor, but I am talking to the ones that want to compete, and the guys and the ladies that are competing, boys and girls that are competing. So if this has been um, if this has been what's happening to you, I really want to encourage you to step up again and compete again, compete more. And sometimes too, um, up your training a little bit. If you know, some people say, you know, compete, and then you look at their training and they're only going to class once a week or so. You know, up your training more, train more. You know, if you're going to compete, you got to train. A lot of people want to fight, but they don't want to train, and that's not encouraging at all to you or to your, and it's also an insult to your academy and to your professor or your sensei or whoever you're training under, because you're not ready for the competition. But you're using their name to compete with. So up your training, and that's going to up your game as well. So best wishes to everybody, and I don't want to keep on dragging on, but I just want to encourage you that if you haven't had a great success rate competing, I want to encourage you to step up again, try it again, and this time, though, go into it with the mindset of competing at your best, not trying to always. And sometimes too, you know, here's another thing. Sometimes we get so mentally focused on winning that we're not focused on competing. And sometimes you need to stop and think, okay, I'm not going to get so focused on winning that I don't focus on competing. Because right in the middle of the competition, you get into a bad position or you get into trouble, and all of a sudden mentally you lose. So focus on competing a little bit more than just winning. And because if you do lose, at least you went into it with the idea of, I'm competing, I lost my first match, or I lost both, maybe I've lost both matches. Hey, but I'm going to compete again, and I guarantee you keep that competition, you keep the right mindset, you're going to go far. Best wishes.